That ranch had belonged to my family for over 30 years. The gravel road behind the gate was entirely private property. I had every legal right to control who entered my land. Most of my neighbors respected that without question. One weekend, I decided to keep the entrance closed. A delivery of ranch equipment was scheduled later that day. Closing the gate kept heavy vehicles from entering too early. Everything about it was completely routine. A few minutes later, Linda pulled up to the entrance. She immediately demanded that I unlock the gate. I politely explained it was a private driveway. That answer only made her more upset. Linda insisted everyone in the area could use the road. I calmly asked if she had permission from the property owner. She refused to answer and continued demanding access. The conversation quickly reached a standstill. Instead of leaving, Linda called emergency services. She claimed someone was illegally blocking the road. I remained exactly where I was. There was nothing to hide. Within minutes, 2 deputies arrived at the property. They listened carefully before speaking to anyone. Linda confidently repeated her complaint. The deputies remained calm and professional. The deputies requested confirmation of the property boundary. A county surveyor happened to be working nearby. Official maps clearly identified the driveway as private land. The records removed any uncertainty. As the paperwork was reviewed, both deputies looked at me closely. Their expressions immediately changed. They recognized me as their department's police chief. The atmosphere became noticeably quieter. I showed the same documents any property owner would present. The deputies reviewed the deed and identification carefully. Everything confirmed the driveway belonged to my ranch. The situation became very straightforward. Once every fact had been verified, the misunderstanding was resolved. The deputies thanked everyone for their cooperation. Linda finally understood that the driveway was private property. Sometimes, the simplest facts settle the biggest arguments. The deputies reviewed the details of the emergency call. Every statement was compared with the facts at the scene. The information didn't match what the survey had confirmed. The misunderstanding became even clearer. The county survey maps removed every remaining question. The driveway had always belonged to my ranch. No public easement crossed the entrance. The paperwork spoke for itself. I explained that private property rights apply equally to everyone. Owning land also means accepting responsibility for it. There was no reason for anger or confrontation. A simple conversation could have avoided the entire situation. The gate was open for the scheduled work crew. Heavy equipment safely entered the property. The temporary closure had served its purpose. Normal ranch operations continued as planned. County officials answered questions from nearby residents. They explained the difference between public roads and private driveways. Everyone appreciated the clarification. Clear information prevented future confusion. Linda acknowledged that she had misunderstood the situation. I accepted the conversation with respect. There was no reason to continue the disagreement. Everyone was ready to move forward. The ranch quickly returned to its normal routine. Repairs and daily work continued without interruption. The entrance remained secure whenever necessary. Peace finally returned to property. As the sun disappeared behind the hills, everything felt peaceful again. The gate had never been about keeping people out. It was simply part of protecting the property. Sometimes the simplest decisions are the easiest to misunderstand. The experience became a valuable lesson for the neighborhood. People began paying closer attention to property boundaries. Respect replaced assumptions. Good communication benefited everyone. Owning property means understanding both your rights and your responsibilities. Respect and patience solve far more problems than arguments ever will. In the end, the truth required no drama, only clear facts. And that's a lesson worth remembering.